The Minnesota Timberwolves are weird. This is the team that has all the ingredients to be the first seed in the West and a tier 1 contender. They have a top 10 player in the league, a DPOY candidate, the best POA defender in the game, and they are one of the 3 teams to be both top 10 in offense and defense next to the Houston Rockets and the OKC Thunder. And that's important because being both top 10 in offense and defense has been one of the biggest indicators of how well a team is going to do in the playoffs. And yet, they're also kind of ass. And I do mean that slightly tongue-in-cheek. But if you look at what this team struggles with the most, turnovers, being inconsistent, being prone to sloppy losses, having periods where they just don't give any effort. The picture you get of this team is one which has all the tools at its disposal to be taken more seriously than it is currently. That more times than not, it always gets in front of its own way. And the combination of all of these factors, the push, pull of this team, the will they, won't they experience with the Larry OB, makes this team weird to me. As many gripes as I have with this team, there are 2 metrics that really intrigue me about this team and that keep bringing me back. And that is effective field goal percentage and their pace. Starting with effective field goal percentage, this is an advanced shooting metric that takes into account that 3-pointers are worth 50% more than 2-pointers. It helps give us a more accurate measure of how well a team or player is shooting. It basically adds more texture to the traditional shooting metrics and also reflects the current outlook of the league where 3-point attempts are valued more than traditional field goals. The reason why I wanted to hop on effective field goal percentage is because the Timberwolves are currently 4th in effective field goal percentage in the league. That is insanely impressive for any team. And it's the reason why I'm more critical, because I really think this team has what it takes to stand face to face with teams like the Nuggets, the Spurs, the OKC, and they have as good a chance as any of those other teams at making even the finals. Granted, this team has made the Western Conference Finals these past 2 seasons, but personally, I always feel like this team always leaves something on the table. It always feels like there is something lacking either in their effort or their performances. And with how quickly the landscape in the NBA changes, I wouldn't want this team to get left behind and then leaving them as just another team that couldn't get over the hump. Dean Oliver wrote this book called Basketball on Paper, and in it he referred to what he called the 4 factors of basketball success, which included shooting, turnovers, rebounding, and free throws. And when you look at the Timberwolves from this perspective, we've already laid bare that they're one of the best shooting teams in the league because they're 4th in effective field goal percentage. And even watching them, you do see they have such a healthy diet of different shots, from 3-pointers, getting layups, to the mid-range, transition points. So you know they're good there. But when you move to turnovers, that's when you start to see a bit of a challenge for this team. We start to see that this is a bit of a weakness for this team, even though we'll get more into it a bit later on. In terms of rebounding, this is one of the better rebounding teams in the league. What really makes this team more special in this area is how well they rebound despite their lack of size. Finally, free throws. In terms of free throws, this team delivers. They're not afraid to get dirty, and that starts from the top in terms of Ant trying to get to the rim every chance he gets. That's because of Julius Randle being close to unguardable when he gets to the low post. And that's with players like Ayo and Bones Highland being empowered to push the ball in transition and get to the rim every chance they get. This team is currently 5th in free throws attempted in the league. And that's a healthy position to be in as the team continues to push the pace and encourage different players like Jaden McDaniels to get more touches in the paint, to get to ball out in transition more. And that brings me to the second point that I want to discuss with this team, which is their pace. For the past 2 seasons, the Minnesota Timberwolves had the lowest pace in the league. They were literally bottom 3. But this year, they've transformed themselves into a team which has a top 10 pace in the league, and they've revamped their offense around this pace. And that's important because increasing the pace allows you to generate more shots because you're increasing the number of possessions that you have. This team is 9th in pace in the league, and the reason why I think it's important to highlight their pace is because of how their team is constructed, because they have a heavy guard rotation, and having their identity rooted around their pace benefits teams like this. And it also answers a question to the Timberwolves X factor. How do we get Jaden McDaniels more touches and more shot attempts? And the solution has been simple. Increase the pace, get him in transition, get him easy baskets at the rim, get him easy trail threes, because the statistics show that when Jaden McDaniels has more shot attempts, this team is more successful. And the addition of Ayo Dosunmu has been incredible for this team because he's someone who loves to play on the run. He's someone whose identity is based on increasing the pace of teams, pushing the ball. And he also takes some of that defensive load off of Jaden McDaniels. And right now what's really cool is the fact that Ayo and Jaden McDaniels have a defensive rating of 108. This team is currently 10th in transition points in the league. They are in the 72nd percentile. And the reason why they are so successful in terms of being in transition this season is because of, as I said, they have a lot of guards who all share a similar skill set in terms of being able to see the floor while having high-paced guards on this team. Also represents the weakness that the Timberwolves has, which is their lack of a true point guard, the lack of a floor general. And that has been one of their biggest Achilles heels, because the one area that this team struggles with is turnovers. This team is 14th in turnover. They are 16th in assist to turnover ratio. They're 18th in assists, and they have one of the highest turnover percentage in the league with a 13.9%. And all of these stats just highlight the need for a point guard, someone who can take the pressure off and someone who can give this team more structure in the half court, someone who can deal with full court pressure and garner teams' attention when Ant is off the ball. So, in conclusion, this team is filled with so many talented players who have really cool skill sets that mesh together really well, and who on their best day can go possession for possession with any team in the league. But what their success will obviously come down to, in my opinion, is their effort and how well they limit their turnovers.